We're back. Hello. Sorry for the delay. We had to deal with overlays and lots of things, but we're back. Welcome back to Shardcast for our big anniversary live stream. I've been having loads of fun. I don't know if you have, but I know this is really long. But again, all the VODs will be posted, right? But welcome. I'm Eric, and joining me is Ian.
Hey, I'm WeiryWriter, and I just want to say that the entire time Ben was eating that cake, I was thinking of the movie Matilda, where that kid had to eat the giant chocolate cake.
Oh no.
Also joining us is Alyx.
Hi, it's been a while since I've been here, but I'm Feather. Hello.
You know, if anyone's like, oh, where's Alyx? The answer is she's really busy. Real busy.
This is my break from homework today.
Yeah.
Doing this for a couple hours.
Yeah.
And we go back to it.
It's like, why can't we get more help editing? Because Feather's very busy.
There's no time.
Also joining us is Grace.
Hello, I'm thegatorgirl, and I'll admit I didn't actually watch the first part of the stream.
That's fine. Look, David was a robot, and we mentioned that he was worse than Robot Grace. It was always when he talked. It was really funny, but who's that Cosmere character? Totally fine. Really funny. And we also got Matt.
Hey, I'm Matt, or Comatose. Nothing funny to say. I'm just here. Happy to be here.
We're really bringing the energy here, Matt, aren't you? Like, you're really bringing in the energy.
Gotta be more on the second half. Let's
well
go.
Done. Yeah, I know. We got. Look, I have caffeine now, so I'm ready to go.
I feel like I bring the calm, cool, collected energy. You know, I don't really get excited about
So the calm, cool, collected opposite of energy? That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. And lastly, we got Shannon, and fortunately your boom arm came yesterday, so you could join us.
Yeah, my boom arm broke, so I didn't think I was going to be able to make this, or else just be here holding the mic in my literal hands for 2 hours.
Yeah,
which
don't do that. No.
Didn't feel like doing that, but it literally arrived yesterday, despite all the postage delays. What a miracle!
Yeah, you still gotta give me your details so I can reimburse you.
Sure.
Welcome. Well, this is our 10th anniversary stream. We're continuing on, but we had lots of really fun questions, and I feel like we gotta ask y'all, how did you find Brandon's stuff? How'd you get into the fandom?
Ooh.
We gotta start there. Because, yeah, please, go ahead.
So, when I was 14, I found the box set of Mistborn. I think it was on sale, so I bought it and I read it all. And I thought, hey, that was good, and I moved on with my life. About a year later, my book club read The Rhythmatist. I really liked that. And then a few months after that, I asked a friend for book recommendations, and she sent a list, and the Stormlight Archive was on the list. And I recognized Brandon Sanderson's name from The Rhythmatist, so I chose that. I loved it. And I started Googling, and I ended up on the Hoyd Coppermind page, and I recognized the name Mistborn from like over a year ago, and that's how I discovered the Cosmere and got into everything.
Awesome.
Wow.
Oh gosh, there's so many of us. Like, who goes next?
Alex, go ahead.
Okay.
You're next. You talk next. So there you go.
So in middle school, I had a really big Twilight phase. And what got me out of my Twilight phase was the Wheel of Time. And so there I was, like a high school freshman, well over probably 10 years ago. And for those who don't know, the author of the Wheel of Time passed away before he finished the last book. And I was like, they're bringing some other dude in to finish the series that I really like. Who's this poser Brandon Sanderson who thinks he can write the Wheel of Time? I would go check out his stuff to see if he's up to snuff. And so I read Mistborn and thought it was amazing. And then I read, I think Warbreaker had just come out. and then he was like pivoting to work on Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was how I really never looked back.
I remember chatting with you on AIM when you were 17.
AIM chat.
I
Yep,
remember that.
It was a while back.
I remember that. I remember that. You were 17. I was not 17, but it was a long time ago.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I joined 17 Shard not long after reading those. So,
Ian.
My story is very similar to Alex's, minus the Twilight phase. But I can remember, like,
you gotta choose.
Yeah, I can remember, like the spring of my 8th grade year. One of my friends had started reading The Wheel of Time and had been talking about it, and I thought it sounded weird, but eventually I started reading it and I liked it. And then that fall, my the fall of my freshman year of high school, like, we were talking about it, me and my friend, and somebody next to us says, like, oh, like, the author of that series died. And so, like, we were very, like, sad because, like, oh, that sucks. And then there's the news that this young upstart, Brandon Sanderson, was going to finish it. And I was like, what blasphemy is this? Who is this person who dares think they can finish The Wheel of Time? And so, like, I'm reading, like, the Wikipedia articles, like, and it's, like, about, like, all of the magics in Mistborn. It's like, it's based on metal. That's weird. And then, like, there were some, like, news articles about the Cosmere. It's like, oh, he's trying to link all these things. And I'm like, yeah, that just, like, sounds lame. Like, that just sounds fake. Like, eh. And then I started reading it, and I liked it. But as for how I got into fandom, like, it was the Mistborn RPG, Mistborn the Inquisition. Because I can remember...
Yeah.
Wow.
Which I never... actually
no,
really
you never made a
much.
character for it. Yeah, no,
I made a character because I wrote, like, for it, like, I had to do, like, a bit of prose, and I remember writing that in my first semester of college math class.
Oh,
because
yeah.
I knew everything, so I just, like, I was working on that. But I didn't actually get super involved into 17 Shard until 3 years later.
Nice.
And then my ascent into adminhood began.
Yes. Matt, what about you?
I like that callback to the Mistborn, Ian, because I remember your character and stuff.
That's how you and I we knew each other a lot.
Role played with.
Yeah.
That's how you and I we knew each other the most after the theory stuff, right, Matt?
Yeah, so I also said this on the Old Theories podcast, but I read Elantris soon after it came out, and I picked it up because I liked the cover, the blurb on the back that said "Eternity ended 10 years ago," and and it was a standalone. It was marketed as a standalone, and I was, like, so done with series at that point. So I was done. Little did I know this standalone was going to be a jumping off point for the Cosmere.
It had a fish hook in it. You couldn't get away.
Yeah,
like a mega series or whatever.
The mega series.
So, and then in the fandom, I started theorizing on TWG, got into the Mistborn roleplay story, and worked my way up through there, and eventually ended up on staff at 17 Shard.
Yep. Oh, by the way, I posted a very long retrospective on the last decade, and so if you haven't read that, check out 17 Shard's main page. I spent a way too long writing it. Shannon, what about you? How'd you get into the fandom?
Well, I also read, I was reading Wheel of Time in high school, so I feel like that ages me a little bit more. Not middle school. But that wasn't my jumping off point. It just, that was never the connection. When I was in university, then a friend of mine said, hey, you should read Brandon Sanderson. All the books are connected, but they're not required. And so, by the way, Warbreaker is free on his site. So it was just a very straightforward, there was no coming together moment. I knew from the beginning that there was this giant world. I think the first Iron Man had come out, by the time I started getting into it, so the MCU was just a glimmer. It was starting to come together, like the whole this is a whole world, a universe. And so I went online and I didn't get into 17 Shard right away. I went to the Tumblr side first. And then I came into, I had started reading, yeah, Alyx. So I got into my whole Cosmere. I read so many of the books and did it on the Tumblr side. And then it was just before or around the Words of Radiance release that I first came over to the 17 Shard side and was like, wow, there's a lot of people over here. Very different. So that's
a little different. It's quite different.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to be a fan out here.
There is. There's a lot
in the wilds of the internet, and
none of them are wrong. That's the great thing about it.
Yeah, all of them are right. You might even say.
Oh yeah, right. Indeed.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, what about some fandom memories? And I kind of want to start because Alyx, I'm going to tell a story. I think
Did Grace go?
Did Grace go? Yeah, she went first.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm totally lost.
You're
I have
fine.
Goldfish brain. Okay.
Yeah, no. I will 99% of the time try and know who talked.
Cool.
So Alyx, I'm going to tell a story about a fandom memory on how I met you at the Words of Radiance release. Several years after we first started chatting on AIM. And that was very nice. And fun story. So we did trivia at the Words of Radiance release, which was so much fun. I have very fond memories of that. I also have very fond memories, Matt, of dressing up and being at the Alloy release and us doing Mistborn Era 1 trivia, us being in the cafeteria, getting questions from Era 1. That was good stuff.
We should post some of those pictures again, or I think they might be in the gallery on the site.
I think they are. Like long ago. Yeah, long ago.
Posted some of those at one point.
But a fun fact: Jess, my fiance, is not the only person who I met through 17 Shard, but Alyx and I dated for a while. Actually, so
for a little bit.
Yeah, and now we're good friends. So you know what? If you date someone, you can still be friends after. That works out great. Just don't be like an ass. That works out pretty good. That was very fun.
I have a very fond memory of that Words of Radiance signing where we were doing trivia.
Yeah.
And there was like one point where we had like some clue that was about like the Parasafi story. And this wasn't part of the answer.
I know where you're going with this.
But somehow we got on the topic of like, who's the person in the book who like mentions Parasafi, whatever? And I believe you were adamant that it was Sigil, and I was like, oh no, it's Renarin. And you had the audacity to question whether or not I knew a Renarin thing, and I was completely right.
You were completely correct. I totally forgot, and now I know to never question Alyx on anything Renarin ever, and that's for the best.
Oh, Parasafi is like a mythical figure who is mentioned literally once in Way of Kings.
It's the myth of Parasafi and Nadris, where she goes to the peaks of Dara to get the seed stones, and then they plant them and make the Makabaki. I know you just remember this off the top of your head, but there's like 7 different Coppermine articles about it, so I remember this actually comes up a lot. That was like, we really should merge these.
Yeah.
So
that's probably my fandom memory.
Awesome. Who's next? Ian? Grace? Well, what's up? What do you think?
I'll go.
Yeah.
So this is actually going back a while, and it deals with another 17 Shard staff member, Kendra Little Wilson.
Ah, yes. She's great too. I met her too. She's lovely.
Yes. So as part on the 17 Shard, there is this great sub-community of Sanderson elimination. Way back in the very, very early days, like the second ever game, like I had seen like the first one happening. It's like, oh, I'll give that a try for the second one. I died the first round. So it's like, okay, it's like that like ticked me off. So it's like I let it slide for a while, and like that was in January-ish, and then that summer there was a Roshar themed one. It's like, oh, that's exciting. Like I'll join that. I'll give it another shot. Survived the first round because it was not impossible to die the first round. Died the second round. This really turned me off of Sanderson Illumination for a while.
Never done it since.
Nope. Until the following January, where the first anniversary game happened. And like, okay, I'm going to give this another shot. And I was put on the evil team with like a bunch of great people. One of them, Clancy, is actually the dungeon master of the D&D campaign I'm currently in. But so obviously I knew I wasn't going to be killed by the evil people because I was one of the evil people, which gave me a little security. And in the IRC chat, I made the mistake of mentioning that like wasn't going to die, like obliquely, and didn't think much of it. But Little Wilson had been in that chat. And later on, like in the secret evil chat, Clancy mentioned that he had been talking to Kendra, and that Kendra suspected me. And so I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? But then she made the mistake of mentioning in the actual thread that she suspected me. So I went to her in IRC chat and just like asked her, like, why do you suspect me? And she's like, she cited the exact thing I knew was going to set her off. And I just poured on the sob story. It's like, oh, I've been burned twice before. I just didn't want to even consider the possibility that I was going to die. And I tricked her. And I just loved it.
Oh, no.
Love it. That's
And it's like,
so good.
when she eventually did die, like, the dead people have a doc, and like her first reaction was like absolute fury.
Yeah.
Oh, love it.
Mm-hmm.
Grace, do you have a fandom memory?
All right, so this happened, I think, not long after I became a keeper and that whole role was created.
Yes.
So I remember I was still in school and looking at Discord, and we just got into a heated argument, and I don't even remember what it was, but it lasted
not important. That's every week.
well over an hour, and we were getting more and more angry. And so finally, we were just like, all right, we've got to like lay this all out, like exactly. And then we realized after we did that we had all been in agreement the entire time. There was absolutely nothing for us to be arguing about.
That sounds like Keeper Chat.
And I just feel like that sums up Keeper Chat very well, and I find that highly amusing.
It really does. Like, there's very little of value where we're just like going through and just like, no, we should do this minor thing. No, we should do this slightly different minor thing. And sometimes we're talking about the same minor thing. One other thing, we mentioned this actually in the last half, Grace, but we got to talk about Cytoverse. You coined the term Cytoverse, and Paleo helped get that canonical. So you can have Grace say, yes, she coined the term Cytoverse. Where'd that come about, Grace?
Also Keeper Chat. We were talking about Skyward Universe categorization.
Oh, and capitalization. Whether we capitalize universe in Skyward Universe or don't capitalize the U. That went on for several days, I think.
And I wanted something that sounded cooler, so I came up with Cytoverse. Yep. I also came up with Wtcc for the Legion Perfect State Universe as a joke, if you want to use that as making fun of Brandon's tendency to lump things together in the same universe.
What if they're all Reckoners? Yes?
Oh, God.
What are you, Shannon?
Oh, God. Do I have any interesting stories that
Yes, of course you do.
I've had a lot of fights and arguments.
Well, you know.
That's my personality. We all love to be right here at 17th Shard.
No. We're a nice and polite community always. Our Twitch chat has been gorgeous. Has been
We're having
super
a great time.
nice. We're having such a great time. Literally nothing got even caught by the auto mod. How nice.
Oh, we have an auto mod. That's super nice.
Yeah.
Mad props to the chat. It was really fun during the first half. Also just watching you guys.
Yeah, sorry to my mom, because apparently she was really upset that I didn't notice her message in chat, and she texted me, which I didn't notice until we were on our break, but like I did eventually notice in chat. I was like, oh, oops.
Oh,
I have a lot of things going on here.
Ooh, it's very on the spot. I can't. This is one of those things. I'm gonna think of something
That's
like
okay.
an hour later.
We can come back. Matt, what do you have any?
Well, obviously the Alloy of Law release that you mentioned. It was a really cold weekend, and we were
super cold. Oh my god!
A very large tent. I remember when it was on the Brigham Young University campus, and there was campus security who was very concerned that Carrie, Eric, and I, and
oh yes, because there were opposite genders in the same tent. Yes,
there were several guys and Carrie in a tent together.
Yes,
Carrie, was in a relationship with someone else at the time, and Josh and Misha actually offered her to stay in their tent if the campus police were going to be.
Do you remember when we blew out the power?
Oh yeah, and we were stealing power for our heaters from the bookstore.
Oh no!
Borrowing. We weren't stealing. And then we.
This is why they don't do this anymore.
Yeah, it was a lot.
It was
also,
cold.
Remember,
we just ran a giant extension cord for our heater, and the heaters take a lot of power. When did those even turn back on? Did we just have to spend a night and it was just like really cold?
No, they went and talked to the campus people or whatever. Also, this was during the Occupy Wall Street movement, and funny fact, people on BYU campus don't really know who Brandon is all the time, or some people don't.
So they thought we were Occupy.
People kept coming up and being like, why is Occupy Wall Street occupying the campus bookstore? And we're like, well, we're not Occupy Wall Street.
We're here for a signing.
So yeah.
Oh, I forgot that. Oh man.
Lots of hijinks at that book release.
I liked playing Cards Against Humanity at the Words of Radiance release, Alex.
Yeah.
I remember that.
That was actually the first time I had ever played Cards Against Humanity.
Oh, that's
was with the Words of Radiance release.
And you
then I later,
did not know those things.
I later made a Cosmere Cards Against Humanity deck that we played at the Oathbringer release because I got
and I wasn't
deck
there.
cards printed out.
Oh, stupid.
I'll bring
work.
them to whatever next release I'm able
the
to.
The Oathbringer release, Cards Against Humanity, was really, really fun as well.
Very fun. We had to censor the deck a little bit to make it slightly more family friendly. Even though it's not a very dirty deck, but just in case.
Oh, I think we played that with Peter at the Shadows of Self release. We were just hanging out, and Peter was joining. He thought it was really funny. I think.
Okay.
So, another, I think what we gotta ask all of you, just like I asked the last one, favorite book in the Kazmir. Boom.
This is a very difficult question for me, Eric.
You can say top two. We hedged our bets the entire time last time.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this since I saw the question, so I can go first.
Okay.
For nostalgia reasons, the original Mistborn trilogy. If I had to pick a book out of it, Hero of Ages.
I thought you were going to say Well of Ascension. I was going to kick you from the call. No, just kidding.
Because with the Mistborn roleplay, I've been so deep into those books, it's hard to get over them. But
there's a reason why you always win Era 1 in Who's That Cosmere character all the time.
In terms of writing, I know people said Emperor's Soul, and I agree with that. And then, but my favorite scene is an Oathbringer, and it's the scene where Hoyd retells the Girl Who Looked Up story to Shallan.
Oh yeah.
And that moment, like out of all of Brandon's books, has like hit me the most. And I just like I reread that scene sometimes.
Favorite
'cause it's just
Cosmere
so
moment's
amazing.
also a good thing. We could add that on
Yeah.
too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was what I was thinking of.
So for me, overall, I think my favorite book would be Words of Radiance. But I do. What happens is my favorite, like, it's not really a scene because it's an extended scene, but the Battle of the Tower at the end of Way of Kings is like that last, like, I don't know, like fifth of the book or something is my favorite of like any of Brandon's works. So what happens is I'll reread just the Battle of the Tower, and then from that I'll get hyped and like go into Words of Radiance.
I've reread the ending of Words of Radiance many times. I can't say I've reread all of Words of Radiance that many times, but I've reread that ending, like part 5 on. I was like, yeah, all right, I'm here.
Ooh.
So go ahead.
Go ahead.
We would normally edit this part out of us like,
Yeah.
who should talk next? I don't know.
Okay. So I feel like the problem is that for several new releases, I have evaluated all Cosmere books based on whether or not they contained Renarin point of view,
So that's
including
easy.
like Shadows of Self and Bands of Mourning. Like, can't give you a 10 out of 10, no Renarin point of view. And only one of the books actually passed that test, so I think it has to be Oathbringer.
By default, it wins.
By default. I also just have to say, like, as someone who was very, like, crusading for, like, Renarin is an important and good character with very interesting personal dynamics that are not necessarily easy to see in the first 2 books unless you're really looking at it. Like, Oathbringer brought so much of what Renarin is struggling with and what I love about him to the forefront. And also gave him like a cool secret mystery arc. So that was I'm gonna go with Oathbringer. It's probably my favorite.
So honorary mention to Emperor's Soul because it's Emperor's Soul.
Of course.
And I think I am gonna go with Bands of Mourning because it has 2 of my favorite scenes. One is the scene with Steris after Marasi has the bands and has gone off, and she's talking to like the Southerners who can't understand her, and she's like talking about how she's rated everyone, and she's like, and it ends with her saying it's like, well, I couldn't in good conscience give myself the lowest rank. I do have my uses, and she pulls out like several medallions that she had secreted away, which is like, Steris, I love you. But my favorite is Wax's entire conversation with Harmony, because there are just so many good points. It's like, it wasn't a choice between adventure and duty. It was just a choice between 2 adventures. And it's like, and asking after Lessie, it's like, she asked me to look after you. And it's like, I love it.
So good.
It's really good. It's really good.
I always think of that moment when I listen to I think it's a song by Bastille called The Draw. You should look it up. And it's like very much like Wax talking to Harmony is that song.
Okay.
So,
Shannon, what about you?
I think I have to say Oathbringer. Stormlight is the best. And it's like, I often read everything back to back. Like, I don't like, here's like the thing with Mistborn Era 1. I read it all at once. I don't remember what made Will of Ascension like what you guys are so upset about.
Zane.
I don't remember.
Zane. Easy.
Yeah,
Easy choice.
It's all blurred together in my head. He could have been in 2. I don't know. So it's like, it's like I read it back to back. It's one story. It's like it's in a block by itself as the whole Era
Nothing
1.
gives you terror like who's that Cosmere character? It's like clue 1. This character is from Scadrial. Like, I'm out.
I'm out. I'm like, Era 1 was so many years ago for me. I really have to reread. But yeah, Stormlight is that, and it's I think Dalinar being my favorite character, like it was so good. It was I love the Blackthorn, and I love who Dalinar is now. It's like I love all versions, and it was just I love every bit of it. The Way of Kings is a close second, though. I really love that.
Yeah. I just want to say I feel the same way as you, Shannon, about Mistborn Era 1. And in my case, they are literally one book because I only own the boxed set on Kindle. That is just one book. One giant book.
I got some versions over here, actually.
Yeah, and it's like, especially when it was in the past, like, sure, maybe when it was fresh for like the first like month after reading it, but then after a while, it's sort of like, which part was from which book? I don't know. It's all Mistborn Era 1.
There's medals. There's Ash.
Did you go? Did you go, Matt? I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
I went first.
Oh,
this is why we don't usually do 6 people. So
I can't wait if we eventually do something with like 8 people. That'll be fun.
Yeah, gonna have to get like a little paper by the side, just check off. Who's top.
Pretty much. We need like the Zoom hand raise thing. You know, that's what Discord needs. So I wanted to do a few more fun questions, and I think I've long wanted to do this, and this can't be a full Shardcast episode.
Okay.
If you could pick up a shard, which one would you choose?
I've thought about this, and I hate the idea of picking up a shard. It sounds so miserable. Yeah.
And chat, you do the same. Which shard? Known shard that you'd pick?
Are we restricted to a single shard, or could we do a combo?
I think you have to choose a single one, but you can like list like top few, like in order if you want, I guess. Okay. But like you have to pick one. You can't just like pick like 2 or 3.
I would pick Preservation with Dominion a close second. If I could have both and just be the shard of the final empire.
Oh God. I think I would have to say Cultivation off the top of my head. It seemed like it's sort of like it doesn't, sometimes with the shards, it's like it just seems so all-consuming and everything.
Yeah, that's the idea.
And obviously that's why it's awful. But it's sort of like the ones who seem to have like the ability to do a long focus, long view planning. It just seems that they're not as their personality is not as assumed. I think I said something. I think I accidentally innuendoed. And
no. I'm sorry. I just love this comment in chat. I really don't mean to interrupt, but I literally had a spit take. Ambition, because then maybe I'd finally fold my laundry the day I wash it. And I found that absolutely hilarious. I'm truly sorry for interrupting.
The problem is that you're folding your laundry, so just hang it up.
It's top quality.
Love it. Yeah, just like Cultivation seems like she's got her head still together. Like, it's like it's one of those ones. It seems like she has a personality kind of like outside of the drive of what she's doing. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
I have to go Endowment, not necessarily for the name, but from what we've seen of her with the way she's using the returns to try to manipulate things, and that letter she sent Hoyt in particular.
Then you narrated that.
Yes.
Pretty great. Oh, this may just be because I've been doing a lot of job hunting lately. I think I kind of want to pick up Ambition. Just because like thinking about like career goals and like if you fight for something hard enough, you can achieve it and like get to the places you want to be in life. Like I'm really into that right now. I'll reward the people who are dedicated and deserve to make it in life.
Yeah. Matt, what about you?
My short list is Preservation, Endowment, and Cultivation. For the reasons that the 3 people who chose those said. I think in the end, though, I'm very nostalgic and I like looking back at old things. So I think Preservation might fit that kind of, preserving the past. So I think out of those 3, I'd pick Preservation, but I do like the freedom Endowment and Cultivation seem to offer in the
so my top choice would be Ruin with a second choice for Odium. And look,
Of course.
you have to. No. Gilfon in chat. No, I got you. Don't worry. So they're like, spoke too soon. No, see, here's the thing. Whenever you're in like rush hour traffic and someone's just a colossal moron, just like an unexcusably horrific moron where they go into like one of the exit lanes and then veer back in at the end. What if you just summoned lightning and destroyed them? It's like, no, you're making the traffic worse for everyone else. Stop it. So like
isn't that how
top
we
tier.
got Steelheart?
Yeah, no, it is.
Brendan thought he was a bad person.
Yeah,
and
whereas
Eric
I'm
is
like, I'm totally cool.
100% okay.
Yeah, I do realize that. Yes, but
I have that urge way too often. I'm just like, this is something I'm working on, my rage, and then here you are just jumping in with both feet.
Look. I would transform this realm substantially. Many would die, but like, And then like Odium also has a lot of the great things with Ruin, but you can also do a lot of torture. So like some people just need that too.
Some of you may die, but
look, I'm just
willing
saying,
to make.
like, I know, like, my dad, horrific human, just utter scum, and he is just completely wrong. He is honor corrupted, and so I need to be Odium and show him that he's objectively wrong. It's just a fact. And, you know, that would be fun to just give him a glimpse of the spiritual realm. I haven't thought about this. That would be silly.
Sure. No, not at all.
I love all of the ellipses in the chat where nobody knows how to respond.
Look, they have to be they're really terrible. I can't think of a worse human than my dad. He gives a great example of what not to be. Thanks,
wow,
Dad.
The drama.
No, it's true. It's true. He disowned me for stupid reasons. This is, look, it's real dumb. It's real dumb. Lord Ruler of the Forums. Look, I made this very obvious here.
Yeah, just he's not joking with that screen name.
No, I'm not. My Twitch name is the Lord Ruler, but I'm on 17 Shard right now. All right, now Knight Radiant order.
Ooh.
You gotta pick one.
I'm always torn between two. I'm always torn between if I'm a Lightweaver or a Dustbringer. I wish we knew more about them dust orders. Dust order. I want to know more. Just based on what we already know, I'm kind of like inclined towards it, but also the drive of the Lightweavers. Not so much like you know, I think lots of people have creative sides, but it's the self-knowledge bit that I find really interesting. And and sort of like I think that also appeals to me in a different way. So you can't have both. Well, I mean, you theoretically could, but those are the two.
So my microphone is covering it up, but I have my Skybreaker necklace on because we're
being a Skybreaker.
Yes, I have absolutely talked about this before, but one, Nail is extremely attractive, and I would do whatever he asked.
All right.
But also just like I have lots of feelings about the ways that society should be governed, and it deserves to be just and fair and have a code of laws that reflects that. And
chat's really loving this, by the way, Alyx.
Societies and laws that are unfair need to be challenged and reformed and yada yada. So yeah.
I still distinctly remember you messaging me. You're in a parking lot waiting for a friend, and you're there for like literally 2 hours because you said you would be there and they didn't show up. And I'm like, Alyx, it's been 2 hours. They're not showing up. I'm sorry. And you're like, no, I'm staying here. I'm like, you're such a Skybreaker.
I can't stoop to their level. I gotta do exactly what I say and hold to the letter of the law. I'm all about that.
Oh, Matt said in chat, Eric and Alyx would have been a dark power couple. There's a reason why they couldn't end up together. Don't worry, Jess is a much better fit for me, and we would definitely be a dark couple, a dark power couple if we picked up shards and stuff. We've discussed this extensively. You can pick on Discord which shard you want to choose. So
I can't wait till we get just some like good internet and stuff. And
yeah, no, she'll be actually
We can
right
be
over
on
there, next to me. And yeah, then she'll be on the show. It'll be fantastic.
I would want to be Truth Watchers, and I think I could fit in Truth Watchers, but I also think I would be a good fit for Else Callers.
There's a lot of else colors chosen, which like kind of makes sense because we're all kind of more scholarly. Like, just saying, we're all readers. That's why we're here.
So my inclination is to say a Truth Watcher. I feel like I can't know for sure until I hear the oaths, but that is my inclination of like the I see more scholarly type thing.
Yeah. What about you, Matt?
The Lightweavers are the ones I admire the most, and I like the power set the best. But if I'm being... And I also really find Else Callers interesting. I like Else Callers a lot. But if I look at like the ideals and like the attributes, I think I'd probably be a Truth Watcher, which I'm okay with. I like Truth Watchers as well.
So
powers are important. I want to fly, so
see, flying. Look, I said that maybe we should ask what magic system we want, and like I was the only Allomancer. That was the only one who chose Allomancy. But
I am 100% with you. I would also choose Soother.
Yeah, it's so good.
Though light weaving would be a close second.
It's pretty good. My Radiant Order, Grace, you've said I'm a bondsmith. I don't know if I believe that. I'm way too evil for that. Like just objectively speaking, like it's just a good thing that I don't have magical powers. Is what I'm saying. Like it's a good thing they're not real.
Bondsmiths only care about bringing people together. They don't really care about how.
Oh my god. Evil bondsmith.
Let's just say you hack the system and you bond Ba'ido Mishram as your bondsmith's friend.
To some extent.
All right, that does sound really appealing, I must say. That
like,
would
like the Stormfather doesn't care if you sweep over the land, pushing all of the trash and stuff out to sea, because that's what he does.
Bad drivers included in trash.
I mean, I'm sorry. Sometimes when people go 15 miles under the speed limit, enter the freeway, and then constantly have their turn signal on and like, I don't know what I'm doing. It's like, what are you doing with your life? I'm sorry. But conquest is a valid form of uniting. True. But I guess Bondsmith or Dustbringer, maybe Elsecaller. I don't know. I don't think I would actually be a Radiant. I'm not good enough for that, to be honest.
Aww.
Oh, it's true. It's true. All right. Favorite. If you could pick one magical power, they could be a Radiant. You can say the same thing. But you can't choose full Ferrochemist and you can't choose full Mistborn. That's cheating.
I have to pull up what all of the Ferrochemy options are. If I have to choose one.
I don't
the
remember.
Ones I'm deciding between are Awakening, Elantrian, Soul Casting, and Light Weaving are my four I'm having trouble narrowing.
Sounds like you should just be a Light Weaver and call it good.
Yeah.
Like, that seems most efficient.
I do like the Lightweaver powers because just the ability to put on a show at the drop of a hat, just feel like literally I can play all the parts and just I can make the voices sound exactly what I want. Let's do it.
Yeah.
That's what I want out of life.
Someone in the chat just said Forgery, and also Forgery is super cool.
Forgery's good.
I was thinking about it when the question was first asked in the first shift, but it's sort of like it requires like so much artistic ability.
Sounds like a lot of work.
I'm like, I
like.
have never done I've never sculpted anything in my life. can't. It just like I feel like the learning curve, like, and also with like Aeon Door, it's sort of like I need to learn so much in order to just start doing it. And I'm like, listen, I'm not a young person anymore. I want to jump right in and start doing the magic.
I draw lines on a computer for a reason. I can't draw worth my life.
Yep.
You
don't want to freehand Aeons?
I want to say copper fairing because that's on brand for me, but that doesn't seem very practical.
I mean, it's kind of useful.
Maybe I'm leaning towards either like wakefulness or warmth. Those both
Paleo mentioned wakefulness, and we had a twin-born question. And I'm like, Allomancer Soother, and then wakefulness Ferrochemy. They're two very practical powers.
Oh, I thought that was like a fake one that a fan made up because it's
it's a real. No, it's totally real.
I would definitely go. But that's my close second.
I just think for warmth, like I would always be the perfect temperature, and that sounds very appealing. So,
yeah.
I think the wakefulness one was actually like where the idea of Ferrochemy came from. Like Brandon was tired at the wrong point in the day and was like, I wish I could just save this tiredness.
I wish
to.
Like, I wish to.
Wake myself up right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely. Just like I wish I could be more alert right now. And then I can be tired at
It's probably one of the most practical.
Super
ones.
Practical.
Any kind of life you live, whether, like especially in our modern life, our day and age.
And soothing, super good. Not so good when we're all remote, but it's pretty good.
I spend the summers in Florida. I store all the warmth, and then I save it for when I go back to school in the winter and it's snowing.
That, honestly, that is very practical, Grace. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
True.
I think I probably would just stick with the Skybreaker power set. Because, like, it's either like that or a coin shot because I need to be able to fly through the air somehow.
How is that useful in your day-to-day life, though?
Because it's awesome. And listen,
that's the Brandon answer right there.
I can't go skydiving all the time, but I've been twice and I just want to keep going because it's so fun to plummet through the air. This is a deep held desire of mine. And also, like, we haven't seen that much of the like other surge that the Skybreakers had, but it has to be cooler than like the surge of stickers that, sorry, Windrunners.
Don't forget the surge that makes things stiffer or less stiff. Doesn't that sound cool? I don't know about that. Also, Argent says in chat, Feather Skybreaker power set doesn't make you more likely to sleep with Nail.
Watch me.
Look, I mean, it's got to be a strict improvement, right? Did we get everyone
flying together?
Yes, because I answered before we asked the question.
Right. Let's go on and do some Patreon questions. We'll do Ship It or Rip It in a moment. Let's start with this one from Cramerica86. How many of you are betas readers, and what is it like? I don't know that I could read a Stormlight book in a few weeks to give feedback.
So,
do we just show of hands?
Do we want to do that? I mean,
I would say like
you can read the books. It's like
not
like it's
our
a secret.
names are in the acknowledgments if you want to know who exactly. We don't like to draw attention. To that fact, we don't want to like. It's like we enjoy doing it, and it is a service to Brandon, but we don't want to seem like we're lording it over people.
We're not the important ones.
No. But I think we can say that it's harder than it seems.
Yes. Yes,
because you can't talk about it for months on end.
It's pretty rough.
Both fun and challenging is a good way to sum it up.
But on the subject of Stormlight, we don't get it all in one go. You get it one card at a time with like weeks in between.
Yes, we can talk to other betas, but like sometimes you want to talk to other people about it because like when a book's out, you want to talk with everyone you know about like, Oathbringer and stuff, and so it really does change the dynamic of like a release date and stuff. So it's not all good.
Yeah.
Like with Oathbringer, a certain entity shows up at the end of part 2.
Yes.
And you just have to live with that knowledge.
Yeah. I believe, Ian, you were like, yo, tell me. You need to tell me.
I
when,
immediately messaged
tell me when you get to the end of part 2. And then you have to wait like 2 weeks to get the next stuff. It's kind of infuriating.
Part 3 of Oathbringer was really difficult for me during the beta process because it was like part 3 was just so devastating. Like I remember, I think Brandon like said at some point that he thought about ending the book on part 3 or something. Or
whoa.
Like, crazy like that.
Whoa.
And I just remember like when I finished part 3 and like the whole Kholinar thing had been total disaster. Elhokar was dead. Everything went wrong. They were trapped in Shadesmar. And I was like, cool, I'm just gonna be miserable until we get the next part, because that was the most depressing ending. If part 5 isn't a better way to end this book, I'm gonna be devastated.
Yeah,
like it was real rough.
It also, like, the beta read is a worse version of the book.
It is.
That's also true.
It's not like we just get the final version early.
No. Alyx, didn't you say that you're like, it doesn't feel like a Brandon book because it didn't have the 10% cut? I think you said that because you were surprised. Because Oathbringer, you're like, it felt different in the beta to you. Because remember, guys, Brandon does the beta. So he has an alpha read, right? He gives it to his friends and stuff. Usually they don't get through the whole book because they're really long. Then there's a beta, which is more wide scale. Then he does revisions. Then he does what's called a 10% cut, and he basically cuts 1/10 of the entire word count out of the book. That's why in Oathbringer, he added more scenes, but the book was still shorter. And then it goes to a gamma read, which is just line edits. Yeah. So Brandon's almost done with the book now with Rhythm of War, because he's doing the last drafts. But like, there's still like other stuff to do. And obviously the printers need to print it, and given global pandemic, how well that's going to go. So I don't know. But
yeah, I would say there's definitely times where you can like read a story arc through the book and be like, I can see where this is going to be. I can see what you want this plot line to be, but it's not there yet. It needs work.
Brandon writes the stories he wants to write. And he doesn't he really he's just there to make the book better. Like, he doesn't really like change everything if people didn't like it, usually. So if people like,
sometimes that's the point,
because Brandon is going to write the story. So I just don't like bringing it up because it's kind of not important. We give feedback. Oathbringer had more text in its beta than the entire book. So I'm pretty sure everything got said, and Brandon wanted the book he wanted to write. And we don't really have that much influence. So we actually edit things out of Shardcast when people like mention beta reads, because I just don't like talking about it, really. I don't want it to feel like we're more important or more powerful, because like, honestly, it's just giving feedback. It's just a pain to read it chapter by chapter and pause every time. So it is more work, but Brandon writes the story he wants to write. What do we got? Ooh, this is a good one. Daniel asks, it would be awesome to know things like your favorite Kazmir characters. And he also thanks us for having a Europe time slot, so you're welcome. We can only not fit the Australians, but everyone else we got with this live stream time. So, favorite characters, and then David Maxwell also asked for who are your favorite side characters in the Cosmere, and he mentioned Scoot. So why don't we do that as a twofer? And think about favorite characters and favorite side characters. They might be the same, might be different.
Favorite side characters.
What's the criteria for a side character? Is
I
it someone
don't
who doesn't
know.
have a viewpoint?
That's up to you.
I don't know.
Someone
This
who's
question
not important.
doesn't specify. So whatever works. Like, I would say at least not the main characters that we'd all kind of agree are main characters. Like, I think they could eventually get viewpoints. Like, I think Doxson counts as a side character even though he gets viewpoints later. So it kind of depends how you feel about it.
Mm-hmm. I feel like all of mine are from Stormlight that are coming to mind just because I'm so invested in Stormlight.
Yeah, you are. You're invested.
I really am. So I guess I would say favorite characters, like off the top of my head, for very different reasons, Renard and Mraze.
Very different. Very different. Very different kinds
Yeah.
of love.
And I see Joe Tender just put Rushu in here, and Rushu was like my pick for like side characters. There's just something about the fact that she's like kind of scatterbrained, but also apparently very brilliant that I just really like that. Whenever she shows up, I smile that Rushu is around and happening. She is, for people who don't remember Rushu, she's one of the Ardents who helps out Navani with like various sorts of things.
Nice.
I think my favorite character is Adolin. And my favorite side character, I'm going to pick the duo of Ham and Breeze.
That's good. I think that qualifies.
Side dynamic.
Yeah.
No.
Ooh. Someone in chat says Milan is probably my favorite non-Stormlight character. Milan is a great choice for favorite side characters because in Shadows and Bands, she's hilarious.
Can we do
Steris? I also love Steris so much.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry.
I
love Steris.
If we do like favorite villain, my favorite villain is Palm.
Palm, yes.
Big same. Best villain.
Really good.
Yeah. Over Mraze, Alex?
Oh, wait. Is he a villain?
Yes.
Yeah, I would say so. Yes, he's an entire...
All right.
I'm not sure. I mean, he has some good ideas. He casually kills tons of people, you know. Shannon, what about you? Shannon or Grace? Go ahead.
Was Grace about to say something?
Yeah, go for it, Grace.
Okay. So I don't know. I don't like ranking characters. I have a hard time deciding. So
You can just
off the
list
top of
some.
my
That's
head,
fine. Yeah.
So favorite like main characters, I like Adolin and I like Renarin. Favorite like side characters I really like Redden. He only appears in 2 chapters.
You do love Redden a lot.
He for those of you who don't remember, he's the like heterochromatic bastard son of the guy who like becomes king of Yaakoved in the War of
Valam.
Succession.
Yeah.
Yeah, Valam. And he shows up in one of the Shallan flashbacks to investigate her mother's death. And he also shows up in the Teravangian interlude where he kills his father at his father's command, and then disappears. And Teravangian just thinks like, he's gonna have a hard life after all that, and then he never appears again yet. And I want him to, because. And then I also like Gox.
Cox is good.
Cox is pretty good.
Sweetheart.
What about you, Shannon?
I think I have to say Dalinar for favorite main character.
I'm not surprised.
Adolin is super up there. If you asked me before Oathbringer, I would have struggled between Dalinar and Adolin. But like as it is now, I have to say the big guy. Side character though, like that's where I'm getting tripped up here. Super lightheaded right now, and I'm just like, oh god, trying to concentrate.
Chat said, "I love Hasina. Hasina's great. Love Hasina."
I was thinking about Sabario.
Sabariel's hilarious. I really like Sabario.
I forgot about Sabario.
Sabariel's great.
I was just like, he came to mind right away.
I think Sabario, I think of him as like a redo of Set from the original Mistborn series.
Yeah.
But like a better redo. Like
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. He makes me laugh.
Also plays he also plays with the same things as Delios from White Sand.
That's true. All 3 of those characters are very similar. And Sabario's obviously the best. But
yeah. Obviously.
So my favorites, hands down, favorite Cosmere main character, Navani : best : she is. I love her so much. With Elend being a close second, because like I empathize very strongly with early Elend. Side characters, definitely have to say Sabariel now because I remembered them.
A good pick.
But also Tyndwyl and Allrianne from Arrow 1
Mm.
are two I really like.
Rad.
Those are both good picks too. Allrianne is really fun.
What's Wall of Ascension? What? I forgot.
Allrianne is in the
Barely.
Yeah, she's mostly in the third book.
No, she's
No,
mostly in the second, I would
book.
say.
She's barely in the third. Yeah.
What's the one where she's like itching to riot the crowd and Breeze won't let her? And then
Oh no, that is in the third.
one.
that's in the third, yeah.
Yeah.
And then she's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, I did remember someone. I have a hard time comparing characters between different books,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
but another character that I really like is Ace from White Sand. Ace
That's
from
true.
WeiryWriter.
She's probably one of the best characters in there. Yeah.
I have a very big fondness for Naj as well, just being very grumpy and following
Mhm.
Chris through the universe. I'll throw him out too.
Yasna's great, chat. Yasna's great, no question. I think the character that spoke to me most, like, instantly was probably Vin meeting Ellen. Like, it's just like, I look at my phone at parties and Ellen's basically doing that and ignoring the whole thing. I love him so much. Amusingly, Jess really likes Ellen too, so it works out great. So that's probably one of my favorite characters, but like I love Marasi. Marasi's great. I love her so much.
There's
man,
so many characters.
there's so many that are really good.
I had to think of so many because it's like there's a kind of difference between who I kind of like reading about most and who I relate to most. Because if
Yeah,
that was
those
the
are very
question,
different for sure.
Mhm.
I'd have to say Yasna because I identify with Yasna so much.
Right.
But in sort of like when it comes to like someone who like really struck me, it was Dalinar because Oathbringer knocked it out of the park. So
Right, yeah.
this is such a big question.
It is.
I just realized that I forgot about Pattern, and I can't believe I did, because Pattern, I have to change my answer to Pattern.
Pattern's great.
Everything.
Pattern's great. No question.
Was the question Brandon characters or Cosmere characters?
I
Cosmere.
I think
But
it
we
was
could-
Cosmere.
think it was Cosmere. Yeah, it was Cosmere. Yeah. But
Because-
add some non-Cosmere in, Grace. That's
Because
fine.
Jorgen is my favorite overall.
that makes sense.
In the
Paleo
chat,
called it in the
Paleo
chat.
was like, Jorgen incoming.
Oh yeah, we felt it coming. I
We
was like,
felt it.
oh yeah.
Ooh, I love this question in chat. Do you have favorite book covers? Let's limit that to Brandon book covers.
Okay, because I was like,
Yeah.
I
Short
am
answer,
always-
yes.
Which one?
I don't know.
That's not helpful.
All of the Jiangguo Chinese
They're
Cosmere
really
covers.
good.
In fact, I'm gonna go grab a couple off of my bookshelf so that I can hold them up to the camera so y'all can see how gorgeous the Jiangguo book covers are. They're so lovely.
I really
BRB.
like the Shadows of Self cover US because it's dark and like it really evokes what that book is. Like I just love the different color schemes. Yeah, exactly. Like it's super good for like what that book is, right? Like I really enjoy that.
like the artist who did the US Mistborn Era 2 covers. I really like the Bands of Morning.
Yeah, no,
cover.
and the Bands of Morning one, it's like snow. Why is it snowy?
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Matt. There we go. That's
See,
the
mine are
one.
over here, so I'd have to get up to get them. So
Yeah.
thanks,
Thank
Matt.
you,
Stairs
Matt.
is really
That's the
cute.
one.
The
Stairs
thing
is
I hate,
Mine are right there.
yeah, the thing I hate
Very
about
pretty.
the alloy covers, and it's something really dumb.
Mhm.
I hate Wax's hair.
Lovely.
I hate his hair, and he's on all the covers.
Yeah.
So
Literally, he looks so much like Matt Mercer that Matt Mercer gets comments in Critical Role that like
Yeah.
they did, like Critical Role did some episode where they were like promoting Shadows of Self, and I was like,
Yeah.
that looks so much like you, Matt. And he was
it
like,
totally
"Thank you."
does. I love
Tor
Matt Mercer's
sponsored
hair, though.
Critical Role a couple times.
Also, final one that I have is The Way of Kings, which is very lovely.
Oh, that's so good.
They're so
Okay.
they're
Yes, Ian.
I think I do have an answer, and it's the cover for the omnibus of the Arrow 1 that I think Grace has, where it's
Mm.
this really beautiful painting of like Vin falling from the sky.
Yep.
with
That
a
was a great
dagger.
cover.
Mhm.
I think my least favorite cover is the UK Bands of Mourning. I do not like that cover at all. Let me. Do I have it?
Do you own it? Do you
Well,
own
no,
the cover you
I
hate?
don't love the.
These are Jess's books. She brought them over. Let me just show you. What is? Oh, because it's reversed. Sorry, my camera's reversed here.
It's not for everybody else.
What is this?
It goes.
What is
It's
this?
reversed in
No.
Twitch. It's not.
Yeah, no, I
reversed
know,
for
I know. Yeah, because it's
Okay.
capturing my screen, not yours.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
that's right.
Ah,
This is supposed to be the Sovereign or something. What? What? What is this? What is this? What is that?
also, Mistborn Secret History, which is over Matt's shoulder.
Oh yeah, that's a great cover. I actually have that. I bought that from Miranda Meeks' stores. It's in my stairwell. It's fantastic.
I also bought it from Miranda. I brought it at the Oathbringer release, and it was her last one of that print. And it was more expensive because it was the bigger size, but it was her only one left. So I'm like, yeah, gotta get it.
Yeah, she
love
still.
it.
I think she still has some on the website, but that's a
Yeah.
beautiful print. I think I
It
have
was-
that and a Vin one, both
Yeah.
from her. It's
So-
just great.
Miranda
My
Meeks is
favorite-
great.
Yeah.
little bit of a different direction than you guys, but I'm gonna have to go with the new Alcatraz covers.
They're really good.
They're
They
well
are good.
pretty.
Just love the way like you can see it, and like the style and what they depict just like evokes the
Oh,
tone
no.
of those books quite
Grace's
well.
video covers some of Matt. Oh no, let me fix
No,
that.
it's just
No,
yes,
it does. I'm dumb. Oh my
Just
god.
a little bit.
I broke this. No, don't worry about it. Now you can. I fixed it. Sorry.
Yay!
Dealing with overlays. Now you can. You can see it now on the. You can only see part of it because the frames aren't 16:9 because we have to fit 6
Ah.
people. But
Yeah.
Oh, I'm tempted to grab my French Way of Kings as well. Those also have really great
I
covers.
have
They're
my
pretty good.
UK Skyward, but it's downstairs.
the UK
I'm not gonna
Skyward,
look at it.
they're really nice. They are really nice.
I
wonder
think
if
my
it's
favorite
microphones.
is
I don't have
Warbreaker. Like just like the
Warbreaker
colors.
is such a good
It's
cover.
lovely.
so pretty.
Dan Dos Santos art.
Yeah.
So gorgeous.
I've literally
Oh, I can
bought
just
Dandos
barely
Santos
reach.
book covers, like just books that have his covers on them, and I haven't read them. I've done that multiple
Yeah.
times because I like them.
Last one real quick before. So the French Way of Kings, like lots of others, splits them up into 2 volumes. And so the first one we have like Kaladin looking out. And the
that is
second one,
nice.
you like mirror it with like
Oh,
Shalon
right, these
looking out over
ones.
Carbranth. And I just, they're
Nice.
really pretty. They're really lovely.
Oh, nice.
But
That's great.
Nice sort of tie in the symbolism together.
Nice.
Pretty. I speak a teensy bit of Chinese. I speak French much better. I could probably read the French books. I can't read the Chinese books.
Yeah. A lot of kanji. So you know what I think it's time for us to do, friends?
Mhm.
It's time for Ship It or Rip It. Okay?
Oh no, I'm not good at this.
No. You've wanted to be on these.
I have, because I know I'm going to be utterly terrible.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do. So these, what we usually do is all right, so chat wants a specific ship or rip. We'll start with that, then we'll do random ones, okay?
Okay.
So I gotta do a little bit of a setup here, okay, chat?
Okay.
Because I need to create it on the screen.
So real quick, I gotta.
Kiska?
She's doing her like bartender. Can I have a drink pose, which is one of my favorites.
Yes, you have to show the cat.
Gotta show the kitty.
She's behaving so well today.
She is. She was trying to kill the blinds earlier, but she's being good now.
Okay, so we're not gonna do voting until we've talked about it. Okay, right? That's fair. So just a second. I gotta. I guess I kind of didn't figure out what I wanted to do with this, so I gotta make some text real quick because
Did we
I
decide
want
we're
it to be
going
on screen.
3v3 and chat is going to vote for us?
Yes, that is exactly what's going to happen.
Cool.
And maybe each person on each team gets one
I would say
shot
so.
to do their argument.
Yes, agreed. Agreed.
Okay.
I don't think we're gonna like do like random teams or something. Like I don't know how are we gonna decide the teams? How are we even gonna do that?
I like how chat is already like Rashindi Rip is doomed to fail because it's the best ship. Chat already ships Rashindi.
Good for them.
How are we gonna select teams, guys? This is the planning that we would cut, but we didn't.
But we did not plan this part.
No. Alex, I need to change.
Everyone was
anyway.
so enthused by the idea of Ship It or Rip It, and we're like, okay, I guess we're not doing Who's That Cosmere character for us this time.
we'll do some
We'll see. Ian wants to do Who's That Cosmere character. Ian's like nodding, like yes, I need.
Yes.
Ooh, good. Like, guys, I like Emperor Palpatine's unlimited power. So, like, yeah, of course I'm gonna pick the evil shards. Come on. What'd you think I would choose?
I see some Shalazna in chat as well. Shalazna is a pretty good ship.
Mm-hmm. Although sometimes the funnest ship it or rip it are
the terrible ones.
Rare pairs.
Yeah,
True.
it's like
Coming out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like the ships that came out that we were talking about on the Tumblr side back in like when we only had Way of Kings. It's like
That's true. Like I do love Way of Kings because
Shalazna was the only like female pairing that it could even exist back then.
like, the
All
possibilities
right,
were so endless. We
All
had
right.
so much speculation.
Okay, so I don't know how we're gonna do this, but we got this on screen now. So we're gonna start with Rashek and Alendi. Do we just want to like choose which three are on which team and then alternate it? How do we want to do that to even it out? I think me and Ian should be on opposite teams because we're both bad.
That's fair.
I think because I think if we're both on the same team, we will vote. I will make a straw poll. I will make a straw poll. I promise.
Cool.
So what do we want to do? Well, see, Ian's also on the top, so
I know. I was thinking top and bottom.
I know.
It's different.
Yeah. Then we're just gonna get clobbered, Alex, all consistently, because Matt and Shannon will always be on the same team. So.
I was thinking me, Matt, and Alex would be a great team.
Wow, yeah, I bet you would be a great team. I bet you would. I bet you would.
I'm just saying what we're thinking. Is that
all right?
Okay, what if we make you and Ian team captains, and then like
I like this. I like this. This is good. I like this. This is quality. This is quality. Ian can go first. He's new to Ship It or Rip It.
Okay, do it.
So we're like picking people for the dodgeball team.
Okay. I
getting
have to go with Writer Twin Solidarity and pick Feather.
Yeah, Writer Twins.
I will.
I gotta pick Matt. Ian, who are you gonna pick next?
They're both so good.
Yeah,
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Very middle school chat says that's true. It's true. Look, what are we gonna do? Okay.
I'm going to pick Gray because I think she and Feather have very good synergy.
Are we gonna have these teams be permanent, or are we gonna do this each time? What do you want to do?
I think permanent.
Okay, let's just do
Yeah,
permanent.
that's true. It takes a while
let's do
to
it.
kind of set
It totally does.
Also,
and
Eric,
I'm good with our team.
Paleo has messaged me and said Eric can set up a poll for voting through Twitch. He just has to Google for it.
That sounds like work. I'm almost done with the straw poll, so we already almost have that done.
All right.
But now we have options for the future streams.
So, what we're gonna do is we are going to random number generate who is Ship and who is Rip. Right?
Okay.
That's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
So
I like the dice roller app. I like Sidekick for this.
All right. So the first is going to be ship, and the second's going to be rip for this one. So,
Makes sense.
and mime team 1 and Ian's team 2. So, all right. So, Ian, your team is ship. We're Roshek and Alendi. We're starting with the chat. Chat has wanted this for a while. We will randomly generate pairings soon.
All right. So do we start off then?
You start. Yeah, your ship.
Okay.
I mean, I think Chad has already come to the only obvious
that's
conclusion.
true.
That this is the best ship. I mean, enemies to lovers is such a wonderful dynamic. You know, all of that like jealousy and strong anger that Roshek had, it was actually just like jealousy that he couldn't be with Alendi. And then as they were climbing this mountain together and huddling for warmth in the snows, you realize what his true feelings were. There you go. That's my opening salvo.
Yeah.
And now someone from the other side. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Roshek would and did murder the crap out of Alendi. Okay? He will do it. He did. And there's a lot of hate for sure. He would be a Vodium. You know, right? But you know, Roshek, though he was selfish, there was a part of him that was for the greater good, right? And all paths lead to him. He needed a trick. He didn't care about Alendi. His whole goal with meeting Alendi was to be the Pac-Man, to going up to the Well of Ascension and then murdering his butt. That's what it did. And it's not there because he wanted to bone Alendi for a long time, okay? That's just not how it worked.
Rebuttal.
Okay, well, your turn. Yeah. We got to alternate, yeah.
What do you need for a good romance? Passion. What is more passionate than a crime of passion? That murder was an act of love on the part of Roshek.
Oh my god.
Because, like, he knew Alendi was doing the wrong thing. And when it was revealed that Alendi would release this great evil, Alendi would be so sorrowful. And so Roshek had to protect Alendi from that tragedy. This is actually way more fun than I thought it was going to be.
There's
fun,
lots
right?
of people saying you're really bad at this in chat and saying that you're worse than me.
I object to that.
I defended you.
Matt or Grace?
I think you're doing great.
Okay. But the thing that you guys are forgetting about Roshek and Alendi is that they are both like really egotistical and like thought they were heroes and gods, and people like that I don't think they have room in their heart to like truly open themselves up and love another person, because you know they're just very focused on themselves. And also Alendi, he also had the pressure of he believed he was the hero of ages and had to save everyone. And, you know, that's like giving himself to the world. It means that he doesn't have enough of himself to give to Roshek for a true relationship. And, you know, and Roshek was, you know, like I said before, very egotistical and focused on himself and came to view himself as a god. And I just think that they would have gotten on each other's nerves and not been a good relationship.
I see me and Matt have saved ourselves for the closing argument.
That's right. That's right. This is good. We're keeping
Strong
it snappy,
conclusion.
you know? We're not doing
Here we
long
go.
discussions. Snappy.
Yeah. Basically, I don't think this needs to be a good relationship. I think this is definitely an enemies to lovers, or even an enemies as lovers relationship. I think this is extremely hot. I think there is a lot. I think the focus,
Or is it
almost
cold?
almost the obsession that Rashek had for Alendi in his position. It was like, it's a lot of strong feelings. You know, it's sort of like, yeah, he like the things he was thinking about Alendi were not necessarily pleasant, but he was thinking about Alendi the entire time. That's gay.
Oh, no lie, I actually do like low key want to write this fic.
I can tell that you're having some difficulty, Matt.
To start, I'd like to share a passage from the prophecies on the Hero of Ages.
Oh my
Wow.
in church.
The Hero of Ages shall not be a man but a force. No nation may claim him, no woman shall keep him, and no king may slay him. He shall belong to none, not even himself.
Oh,
And
damn.
before anyone butts in, remember the Terrace language, the gender is neutral, right? That's why this could apply to Vin as well. So I'm just going to say, Alendi fully subscribed to these prophecies. And like I said, he was just constantly giving up himself, giving himself up. And he was in a position where no relationship could hold him. And I know you'll say, oh, but this is a tragic relationship. It's a beautiful love story where they never get together. But the thing is,
They fuck.
it doesn't get to that point because
No swearing out.
Rashek kills Alendi, and he has such juicy reasons for doing so outside of the shipping world. You know, the whole conflict of him hating and wanting Terrace culture to be the best and hating on Alendi for his culture and everything. You know, like there's a lot of juicy material there. And I think it cheapens what is going on to ship them together. And yeah.
All right, we're pasting in the straw poll, everyone. I'm pasting
All right,
it in.
Chad, I think you have to vote based on the strength of our argument.
Yeah.
as well.
Strength of arguments. We trust you.
That was really good, Matt.
I mean, you don't have to, but
It doesn't have to be a good relationship. It can be a short.
The arguments are closed, Shannon.
But we'll do this for another minute because we gotta keep it snappy. So vote
I
now.
have no idea how this works.
I didn't vote.
Are we allowed to vote?
No.
Okay.
No.
Let's not do it.
I'll wait till the arguments are closed to say anything else.
Yeah. No, we're not allowed.
I'm
I
impressed
really-
you thought of
See,
that.
I don't remember the prophecies. This is like the I don't remember everyone well.
yeah, no, I have like the fic idea is like spiraling of Chad's right, this is a good ship. Low key.
Yeah.
Like
Chad, I'm so glad you invented this.
Low key, now I want like a Alendi as Ace headcanon. Like,
Ooh.
Oh, that's nice.
Good.
It's like this fits.
Mhm.
The chat is correct that "that's gay" was a solid.
No,
What do you
woman
think
shall
about that
keep him.
match specifically?
Yeah. Well, no, and
Right
I-
out of the tags.
with the thing, that's why I had to bring in the Terrace gender neutral.
Yeah.
Yep.
So-
you did.
So I have some news, people.
Mhm.
Rip has 30 votes and Ship has 18. 62
Oh.
to 37 percent. Ribbits
well,
win.
well,
I think people like the quote, Matt. I think the people like the quote.
Good.
I'm
citing
glad
some
they
sources.
did because I ship
she
it
wasn't.
so hard and I was so on board with y'all.
I know.
Shannon, when you said
See, Matt's a
he
lawyer,
thinks about
chat.
Alendi all the time and that's gay, I was like, yep. He's like, absolutely.
He's so
He is
pissed.
obsessed
I
with
hate that
Alendi.
he's the hero.
Matt
I
is a
can't
lawyer.
stand him, and then they
So-
make out in the middle of like a snowy tent trying to conserve war.
Russia kills him, basically. Is that what?
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
This
Very,
is
very-
what we were talking about, the difference in our arguing styles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the Rashek like goes to Alendi to kill him, ends up kissing him instead.
Yeah.
The love happens, and then Reshek wakes up and says, "But I still have to do it for the good of the world."
It's a tragedy. This is a tragedy.
Kills his like sleeping
Rashek
lover.
cares more about the Lord Ruler thing than he does about Alendi, but it's a tragedy. He wants, in his heart, a little part of him still wants that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And then like it's so good.
All right, friends.
Like I said, this works.
I have the next one. And we'll give this to chat here. What we're gonna do is we have Ba Ado Mishram and Frost.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, God.
This is extremely difficult.
These are randomly generated, okay? Like
neither of these characters have shown up on screen.
All right. Look, I'm just gonna say that my team's gonna be Ship. I'm sorry. Like it has to be that way.
We gotta trade roles.
Yeah.
It's our turn for Ship.
Okay.
Yeah. This is your shot, Eric, to prove you can ship it, because I've never seen two characters I feel you're more suited to.
I think Ship needs to go first again. I think that's.
I think this is a white goes
I need a
first
bit.
rule.
I'm just shocked by this.
This is a chess. White goes first. White makes first.
Yeah.
And so, like, rules of ship it in a bit. This is obviously not canon to the Cosmere, so you can bring in other things, right?
Yes.
I
don't quite understand where you're going with this.
about,
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
You'll find out.
Okay.
I trust you.
Okay.
We'll see if this works. It's probably not. It's probably going to be very bad, but
the bad thing is I came up with a rip it argument, which is not good.
Is it that Hoyd and Frost are already a couple? Pretty sure that's canon. They write love letters to each other. I don't know if you guys read the books or anything.
All right. Okay. All right. This is gonna be awful. All right. Are you ready, chat? Are you ready, chat? Ba Ado Mishram in the False Desolation gave the singers forms of power. Okay? With the powers of Void Light. You know what else is a form of power? Being a frickin' dragon. Okay? So, really, already right there, we have some great synergy here. See, Ba Ado Mishram being a Spren will understand Frost being so old and ancient. So, really, that just makes a lot of sense, if you think about it, that Ba Ado Mishram was one of the most intelligent of the Unmade. She was their the commanding fused. That might be a misnomer, but let's pretend that she's commanding fused and Hessi's right, okay? Ba Ado Mishram is a total badass. It sounds like I'm shipping her with myself here, but whatever.
We know you would.
Yeah. So, really, that's all I'm gonna say. Wait, A+, 10 out of 10, completely failed. Let's go.
Oh, I just thought of a ship it argument. Oh.
This is the difficulty.
Do you guys have anything? I have something, but I don't
Go
necessarily
for it. I don't have anything.
Do it.
So I was mostly kidding about Frost and Hoyd, but then the more I thought about it, like, that's actually what's happening. Because here's the thing. Frost is convinced that, like, Roshar is doomed. And everybody in the Cosmere just needs to leave Roshar to implode under whatever Odium does. So first of all, Frost would not get attached to anybody on Roshar, Ba Ado Mishram included. And the whole point of Frost's letters to Hoyd are to convince his lover Hoyd to abandon Roshar and be safe before everything goes under. So, like, Frost is already taken, would not be interested in anyone on Roshar because he believes they're all just going to die to Odium anyway. Thank you.
Grace.
Ba Adomishram is a part of odium. And what is odium? Odium is about giving in to your passions. And Ba Adomishram, what we know of her, we know she convinces these singers to connect with her, and so she can give them void light and forms of power. And so she is almost a kind of seductress, like a dark seductress. And Frost is this very stoic man or dragon who is convinced that the only right thing is not to get involved. And so what happens when they meet? And Ba Adomishram decides that she needs to seduce Frost to join her side. And she is what convinces him through this, through her abilities and her intelligence to join her and to join Odium's forces. And they become like a kind of a dark power couple.
You did way better than me, Grace. Alyx in chat, love it.
I just love to ship things. That's the problem.
It's so much fun to ship things.
Yeah,
Say dark power couple, and I'm on
It's
board.
way more fun than
Shipping is
not
always
shipping things.
the funner
Yeah.
stance.
Yeah.
The more fun.
Frost and Ba Adomishram would not work as a relationship because
I'm ready.
Carry us away, Ian.
That would be a good show, Argent. Argent says tune in next week for our new show, Shipping with Alyx.
yeah,
That's good YouTube content.
Ba Adomishram is already in a relationship with all of the singers on Roshar. How could she give Frost the individual attention to let that relationship blossom into true love? Like, Ba Adomishram has many suitors after her. Like, she, one of them is among our midst in chaos. Not that he's in the Cosmere, but as we can see, she is, as Grace said, she is a seductress. Like, she is attractive to people with like darker impulses. That how there are so many people striving for her attention. How could Frost win out in the end?
I like that.
Very nice. Very nice.
I like that. I like
Good job.
that.
I'm gonna say, first of all, I see Frost as more of like a true neutral alignment. And I'm gonna say, so picture this. Frost is a non-interventionist. He's given up on Roshar as Odium's prison and is gonna let it go to, damnation or whatever. He's just letting go. Whereas Ba Adomishram has been cast off from her role. She's been stripped of her power. She's become this like kind of pathetic creature. And as Frost surveys the Roshar that he's given up on, he catches Ba Adomishram as this little glimmer, and like Grace said, it's, like this seduction occurs. And what if Frost's relationship with Ba Adomishram gives her purpose again and makes her, now that she's been abandoned, brings her up. Meanwhile, Ba Adomishram convinces Frost that maybe sometimes it's okay to intervene, and maybe sometimes Roshar is worth saving because their relationship is worth saving. And then Frost has to choose between sticking to its principles or intervening and going against them to save his relationship. And I think that is a beautiful, beautiful love story. It's got, evil, good, neutral morality. It's great. And I ship it.
I think that requires. I don't think people going against their principles for the person is healthy or good. That's not a beautiful thing. When you are forcing someone to make the choice between what you believe in and being with you, that is not a good or healthy relationship, and it doesn't work. Even if they got to talking, which is a long shot, Adamishram is imprisoned somewhere, and Frost has his whole thing about I'm not going anywhere near Roshar. The chances of them meeting are slim, but even if they did, it trades a lot on Frost going out of his way, which we know he doesn't do, to go and meet someone from a system we know is doomed, and then also get into argument with this person about the reason he's staying away from Roshar in the first place. Like, too many things he'd have to do against his principles to even get to the point where he would meet Ba-Adom-Mishram. And they are incompatible in a way that is not like a beautiful love story. They're incompatible in the way that the very basis of how they even go through life, that they deal with other people, it's like I can't even see them meeting, let alone getting along, let alone talking, let alone just too many barriers in the way of this relationship for me.
All right, let's straw poll this.
All right.
Boom. Boom.
Oh my gosh. I told you my dad called me earlier. Apparently it was a butt dial.
That's really
Last time he tried to call me, I get it. You don't care about me. All right, fine.
Surprisingly close, people. Surprisingly close.
I like that.
This felt like a pretty close argument based
Yeah.
on the fact that we have like literally no information.
Yeah.
about either of these characters beyond
Hey,
tiny
Bottom
basics.
Mishram's mentioned like 3 whole times, Alex. And I got an entire Coppermind article written by me. Yeah.
Well, we know you love her so much.
I do. I do.
That's why her and Frost would never work. Eric would come between them.
He would inject himself into the canon.
All right, people. We're going to call it. So a lot of times people don't look at chat. That's why they're not voting. That's okay. Always the voting's going to be less than the people in chat, in things. So Rip wins 23 votes to 17.
Woo, that was close.
Yeah.
Chad is just bitter and doesn't like love.
I think
And
it
that's
might
the
be
thing.
because Rip ends the argument that it might be influenced by the last person who's talking.
I kind of
Could
think
be.
so.
Are we doing more? Because we could switch to like Rip leading off. for the next one.
Let's do 2 more. Let's do some science. And nothing quite says science like telling our experimenters what we're doing, right? Nothing quite says good science. No, I think we
the
need to
double
do 2 more.
blind fit.
We got to do 2 more because we each gotta argue these. This is fun.
Oh, our
Also-
new admin Fell is back. Cool.
Oh yes. Oh, you're not gonna like this one.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no.
As the shippers or the rippers? Who's not gonna like this?
Everyone,
gonna like
no one's gonna like this.
Oh no.
No
I
one's
already
gonna
love
like
it, though.
Just as the ship as we switch to shipping it?
No one. Yeah, look, I don't think the Rippet's gonna like it either.
Okay.
I already love it, Eric, just from your reaction.
Yeah, I already love it too.
All right, chat. Are you ready? Are you ready, chat? It's time for Human the Kolos and Sereni.
Oh God.
I don't remember Elantris. Oh my gosh. I like how that's my like worry about this ship is that I don't remember Elantris.
I'm going to get water.
We
right
have
back.
111 characters. There are some unmade. There are some joke ones like that. Most of them are normal people, but we just got lucky.
Yeah.
I think there actually is like in the Cosmere Cards Against Humanity like Vin human shipping, just because that was like a very big Tumblr joke of everyone's favorite ship. Oh gosh.
I don't really remember Human the Kolos very well.
Wait, so if we're switching, then that means we go first, Matt, right? Because
Yeah.
That's true.
and
It goes
yeah,
first
We're
now.
ripping.
we're ripping. Okay, well that's fine.
Yeah.
True.
Who wants to go first of us? I don't know.
Okay.
I love this in chat though. Serini isn't like other girls. Humans like no other human.
I have an argument.
Okay. All right.
We're starting?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that Serini is attracted to in her love interest is she really likes kind of quipping and trading these verbal sparring with the people that she is. And that's kind of her way of flirting and showing her affection. And, you know, Kolos, or Human the Kolos, does not have the mental capacity to trade those do the verbal sparring with her. I think the Human the Kolos needs someone in a relationship who will be kind of, you know, compassionate in the way they talk to him and more loving in a, you know, less, I'm trying to think of the words, but in a less almost like antagonistic flirty way. I think Serini very much values that kind of intelligence more than anything else in a relationship. And so I think they would both just be very unsatisfied and they would have a very hard time expressing their affection to each other because of the way Serini wants it, and whereas Human the Kolos would maybe want more like showing with actions that you care and that sort of thing.
So you make good, excellent points on what
I'm so
Serini
excited.
enjoys.
I'm so excited.
But what is another one of her passions? Fencing. She's quite skilled duelist with the rapier. And what do we know about Kolos? They have giant swords. And which is one of the only things they care about. And so this shared love of sword play is what would bring them together. The different forms and the dynamicness?
Oh, Chad, no.
Dynamic.
And it's like, it would be a shared exploration of this activity they both love. And yes, I know this has some very dirty implications.
Very. Chad is definitely doing that.
Everyone's
I went into
bright
this
red.
knowing exactly where this was going to go, but
It was
the only
valiant
argument
effort.
I had.
Valiant effort. Oh boy. Oh man. It's a good thing I put waterproof mascara on. All right, Chip.
Oh, Ian, sorry. I wasn't sure if you were pausing to allow us to regain composure.
I am done. I am done.
That was very good. I will say that I don't think Serene and Human would be good together. Because first of all, what is a Kolos? When they die and go to the beyond, they split into 4 different souls. Like, so Human is this tortured creation of 4 people together. And that's not, like, that's a being that should not have been created in the first place and probably shouldn't, not in any place to be in a relationship. Would be terrible for Serene. And on the fencing point, I think they wouldn't get the friendly competition part and would just like mush Serene. Secondly, from Serene's end, Serene does not suffer idiots. She is not like a patient teacher type when it comes to mental acuity. She enjoys making people feel inferior to her by showing off how smart she is. And so like this like poor Human is just like, I'm trying to figure out what a human is and what I am. And Serene would just like have no patience for that and would make fun of him. And it would be really like sad and pitiful. So that's why I don't think this story works out. I think it could be problematic and is no good.
Craig, do you want to go or do you want me to take it?
Go ahead and take it.
Okay, because I kind of have a rebuttal for that.
Whoa.
You see, you talk about, like, I think that Serene is...
The pronunciations. Love it.
I know, the pronunciation's
they're so
going all over
good.
the
They're
place.
so good.
You know, she is a very smart and intelligent person who appreciates intelligence in others. And I'm going to assume that for the setup of this, that, you know, she is aware of sort of what the baseline Kolos is. And I think she would be intrigued by humans' sort of slightly above average intelligence and see that as sort of like an analytical sort of almost like a challenge to sort of help him regain his humanity and this idea. Like, I think she would want to figure out what was up with it and would come to this sort of idea that he was you know, more than he initially seemed, in the same way that Vin eventually did. But I think Serene would sort of like latch on to that puzzle of that sort of thing. Also, I think they have an additional compatibility, because you may not want to Google this, but there is an idea called teratophilia, which is where people are attracted to sort of monstrous creatures, sort of inhuman. And I would say it's not terrible.
That is going to be worse.
I would say that in canon, we see Serene started falling for Raoden when he was still kind of a gross zombie. Like, that might not be a deal breaker. And in fact, she might actually be kind of into it. So, I yield the floor.
I yield the floor.
So, Serene might be into it. But can human the Kolos even consent to be in a relationship? Does he have can he even do that? Like, I'm not sure. Like, he is a bit more intelligent for a Kolos, but I'm not sure if we can have Kolos do that. I don't think he has that sort of mental acuity or that humanity to even understand what a relationship is, to say that he would want to be in a relationship of any kind. The only kind of relationship he could get into is the smashy kind. Not that kind of smashy, chat. No, the kind where he just murders Serene. So, like, I just don't think that really human could consent, and I'm pretty uncomfortable with the idea of Serene being into him just on that basis.
I think that is an argument you could make with any pairing with Human the Colossus and has nothing to do with the Human and Serene. So as far as being incompatible with Serene herself goes, I don't think that's an argument that has legs. One thing we know about Serene is also that
no, they stay into Shardcast.
She's obviously like wicked smart, but I think y'all are ignoring a part of her character that comes through, is that she is very compassionate and she has a lot of humanitarian projects. And I said humanitarian for a reason. Even when it was difficult, and even when there was a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Censure against her from higher authorities, she was determined to do the right thing and care for other people. And I don't think she would dismiss Human the Colossus from her duty of care. And I think like her entire thing throughout the book is that she is continually giving people chances and like looking beyond the surface and trying to connect with these people. Like, you know, otherwise her and Raoden would never have even happened. It's that's something that Serene just does, is that she is wicked smart, and I think she Matt made a great point that she does like to make people feel inferior with her banter, but I do think she actually saves that for people who deserve it, for people who are kind of on her level and are being cruel themselves. She kind of knows when to use it and when the people she's facing off against don't actually deserve it. And Human doesn't deserve that. So above all, I think this is not something that this is a match, a pairing that actually we can see the basis of like their character. I think this could work.
All right, we're pulling it up, people.
All right.
Good arguments, guys.
So surprisingly good arguments, I must say.
I'm just like, I'm so glad we have time to think about this as like other people talk. It's like,
and it is fine. Having three does change the dynamic for sure.
Yeah.
It's kind of a fun way to do it, though.
It is.
I like everybody really gets to make one statement.
Yeah, because our last Ship It or Rip It really went really long because we just talked and talked.
We just keep going.
Yeah, we do.
Keep talking until you run out of steam.
That's right.
So we're gonna do one more.
I think we're gonna do one more.
One more, yeah.
Okay. And then do we have time for some Who's That Cosmere character?
I am down. I'm feeling pretty good. I don't know if others are.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I needed a little bit more water, but the lightheadedness is fading.
Yeah.
I feel the screen like zombies point was excellent. I really liked that, Alyx.
Listen, some people are all about like some giant hulking werewolf monster. Like that's what they're into, and I think we have some evidence that Serena might be among them. Might not be a deal breaker.
Yeah, that was like, I think that's the linchpin.
All right, well, this is pretty straightforward 70 to 30 ship.
Yeah.
It's science.
Did it.
No true love.
Now, the thing is I went to the Human the Colossus page on the wiki. You may have forgotten that Human was born as a ska named Vershad, who was in the Burnlands, and I think there's actually some pretty good connections that he and Serene could have, because basically he lived out on the outside borders of the Final Empire and was really rebelling against the Lord Ruler. So I think they're like there was a passion and determination. So I think they could get into that.
Yeah.
Somebody send in like a Who's That Cosmere character for this person whose name I've already forgotten, and just say would be a good match with Serene.
Yeah, it's one of Vershad / Human the Colossus. All right, people. So our next one is going to be Sazed and Venli.
Oh.
Oh, wait.
Oh, wow.
We're shipping that?
We're shipping that. Yep.
Oh, boy. There's so many ways you could do this.
I know.
We're on the Rip It side.
Like some of the ones that like get an instant reaction are just like, like they're terrifying, right? And that's fun. But like it's also statistically likely that we would probably get some normal things.
And this is Rip It going first again?
Gosh, I keep thinking of
first.
like ways they'd be good together. Hold up, I have to like totally.
I know.
My
Alex
instinct
on
is
team
always
ship
to
all
ship.
the time.
Yeah, I think people love to ship things more than they like to rip things. It's absolutely the truth of humanity.
Okay. I think I'm getting my thoughts in a line.
I can never do the opening arguments. I always need someone to bounce off of. Yeah.
I could take it again. I don't mind doing it. Rip It is starting.
Rip It starting.
Yeah.
We're doing science.
Okay. So here's why I think the two of them would not work together. One of the things is that Venli seems to be very sort of threatened by good people. She sort of has this dynamic with Eshonai that she's you know, it just really frustrates her that people like Eshonai better, that people think Eshonai is good. And I think Sazed has that same sort of like innate calm goodness, does the right thing for the right reasons, that like Vinley would just get frustrated because being around him would make her feel really guilty about herself and sort of the bad things that she does. And I think even like when she's trying to maybe become a better person, like we see through Oathbringer, like the fact that he's already like so far ahead would even maybe like send her back on this like, oh, I can't stand you. And I think Vinley is probably more hostile toward shards and shard vessels because she really didn't like sort of her reward from Odium of, you know, people dying around her and losing her mate and all of that. And so I think she might be hostile toward Sazed just because he now holds harmony. And that's sort of like a threat from above that she's not willing to trust somebody in that kind of power because Odium burned her before.
I do think we can talk about both pre-ascension and post-ascension for this. You know, just for the record, chat was asking. We didn't have harmony separate on this sheet, so.
Yeah. All right, there you go.
You know what Venli was before she totally wrecked her entire people? She was a scholar. Sazed's a scholar. There's a love for knowledge and discovering what was lost, because she's a listener. And that's exactly what Sazed does. He cares and wants to find what was lost and tell people about it. And Sazed's more, you know, proselytizing, you know, in Mistborn 1, right? Saying those religions. And that's not what Venli does, but I think that makes it very complimentary that she would be very receptive to hearing about different kind of lore from the past. And I think she could get very much into that on a deep intellectual level there. And, you know, singers, you know, she's been in mate form once with Demid, right? And was a once mate. But, you know, Sazed is a eunuch, right? So it doesn't need to be a physical relationship, and it can just be a purely intellectual one. And I don't actually think that that's unreasonable to say.
Are you completed?
Sure.
Okay. I'm glad you bring up the fact that they are both scholars.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
Love a rebuttal. Love a rebuttal.
Because they are both scholars. However, the purpose of their scholarship could not be more different. Sazed is a servant of the people. He researches and learns and teaches peoples of all walks of life, from the Ska to the nobles. Venli is selfish in her knowledge. She seeks what is best for her and what is best for what she thinks is best for her people. And to hell, or to damnation with all of the humans. This is a fundamental philosophical disagreement between the two on the purpose of scholarship that would prevent any sort of relationship.
Love it. Okay. Very nice.
So
Excellent.
I think Venli and Sazed, as we've talked about being scholars, and I think their relationship would have to start with them working on research together. And the thing about Sazed, though, is that yes, he is, as you said, Alyx, a good person, and Venli might feel threatened by that at first, but Sazed never judges people for their beliefs. He embraces them, and he finds philosophies that work with those beliefs. And I think he would do the same with Venli. He would tell her about societies and religions and things that have similar mindsets that she would have, and kind of reaffirm that her mindset is okay. And Venli, we've seen in Oathbringer that, yes, Ian, she does at first view scholarship as what is best for me and my people, but she's on the journey where she's started to change already. And I think becoming closer and developing that relationship with Sazed would help push her forward on that journey, because of how, accepting and how, broad-minded he is with his everyone's path is valid, and just learning more about those different philosophies. And I think, and also, her bond with Timber now, I think it would be an arc of, yes, I can share my knowledge and learn things for everyone. I think I'm good.
Okay. Sorry, I'm like so distracted by Eric leaving. Let's just blame that on him. So basically, my argument comes down, and it's pretty similar to Ian's. I think Venli and Sazed would not like each other. I think they would be the two. If you've had the relationship with a coworker who everything they say drives you crazy because it's like they're so wrong, you don't even know where to begin to argue with them. This is where I see Venli and Sazed being. They're like Ian said, the reasons and their values are so different. They're after completely different things, and I just can't see them even liking each other. With Venli's focus being so narrow, she's not exactly a pleasant person. She is kind of hostile, and we know that her methods are something that Sazed does not use or condone in any way. And on the flip side, I think Venli would find Sazed boring and wishy-washy. So I don't see this being a case where two people meet and learn to grow together, and they're on this beautiful journey where they become better people. Like, no, I think this is two people who would meet and immediately go, no, the way you do this, not for me.
I really, it's interesting taking these different takes on their commonalities and differences when it comes to scholarship. I think one of the interesting contrasts for Venli and Sazed is that Sazed is an archivist. He's very concerned with what's happened before, and Venli is more of a innovator, right? She's looking for new forms, new technologies, new things. Mm-hmm. And I think I really like that, how that complements each other. And I also don't think, I agree that, they might argue at first because of their differing ideologies, but I think that differing would have a really fun energy for it. And it could kind of go very much the enemies to friends, to lovers angle, right? Like Venli is single-mindedly working towards, her goals and ignoring all else. Whereas Sazed is just observing everything with no particular goals in mind. And I think where the flip happens is they realize their research complements each other, because Sazed has that broader perspective, can see things from multiple sides, whereas Venli can focus that broad perspective towards a specific purpose that actually does good in the world. So I kind of see this mirroring happening between their relationship developing and also their research coming together towards a finished product that, would be good for everyone. So that's why I ship it.
Was this the last one?
I think.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I really had to pee, so I thought that would be a good time for me to do that because.
Yeah.
You were done arguing.
Another good argument, and I wish I hadn't gone first now.
I know, right? That's
tough.
It's like no one likes going first, but someone has to.
Someone has to. Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes you have momentum. Sometimes, like at the start, you feel
it's true. You can kind of like set stuff up. I was thinking about how like Sazed was like such a servant of his oppressed people and like doing everything to help them survive.
Very
And
close.
Vinley literally got her people killed. Like, I think
But-
that would be such a painful deal breaker for Sazed to think about someone who got their people killed for their own ambition.
But then you could also do the whole they're the two last
That's
angle.
true.
Like,
You could go like
Suzette is
the
like the
shared
last of the
oppressed
keepers,
people sort of angle.
and she's the last of the listeners.
It's tough. It's
Mhm.
tough.
This is how arguments are created and built, and
Yeah.
this is the
Mhm.
background as we wait for the votes to come in.
Let's give it just a little bit more. It's quite close.
Mm.
It's not a landslide by any means.
Wow.
Yeah, I figure when you have like two major characters that are very opposite, like get
Mhm.
really good,
But have some
arguments on both
commonalities, like
right?
the opposite but similar. There's
I want to talk about Tales of Symphonia, but now like just about no one here plays it. I'm just like,
I played it.
Did you?
Yes.
I played
It's
it all
such a
through
good
high
game.
school. I was about to talk about like my ship. That I developed over many years, but like I didn't used to ship Zelos and Colette, but I started to because I was like, oh my god, they're both the chosen. But I'm
Oh yeah,
totally.
I see you were
Yeah.
we blogged that stuff, and I was like, oh yeah,
I'm the one who
kind of work.
I'm the one who puts that on your
Yes.
on your dash.
So the winner is ship.
Yeah.
So at 20 votes to 17, very close.
There
Now,
are-
yeah,
I think we did
Are very
confirm.
legit science. says
Yeah,
literally
that.
anyone who
Right.
ended always won.
Yes.
Literally always. Which is kind of funny. Cool. Well, that was super fun. I do want to do Who's
I
That
love
Cosmic Character. I'm having so much
I love
fun.
Jupiter. Yeah, just do a little bit.
Well, yeah, we'll
Alright.
just do the two we planned.
This character is from Roshar.
Menace. Tien.
Tom.
Raise.
Void in drag on a horse.
It's time for Who's That Kazmir Character? Caw.
So the guest button, is that where we press? It's like the hand raising?
Yes.
Yes.
How we
Yeah.
buzz in? Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Cool.
Now,
Alright.
Grace has decided that she is not going to look at chat while she does this, because
That is
it's
too much multitasking for
yeah.
me.
So I'm sorry, we will not be able to determine who first guesses chat in chat. So sorry,
but you'll know.
you'll
so
know.
feel free to shout out and
You'll know.
say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So we're we should probably do the intro, Grace.
Oh. Hello and welcome to Who's That Cosmere Character, the show where you send in 5 clues to WTC at 17shard.com and I may read them each aloud on air, and after each clue, our panelists will have a chance to guess who's that Cosmere character.
Your announcer voice is so good. Ben was trying to like do a weird auction thing where he said it like
worked
super
very
fast,
fast.
super weird.
Oh gosh, there's sirens happening.
Oh
I
great!
hope
How's
you guys can't hear
DC? Yay!
Alright, this first one was sent in by Vindication.
All right.
Oh, hi.
The first clue is that this character is small.
Hmm.
Eric?
Finn.
It's been-
What really? Yay!
Okay. All right.
Nailed it! Boom!
Okay, first guess.
Nice. What were the other clues?
Best.
the other
Being-
clues. Oh wait, you can't reveal the remaining clues after revealing the character. Oh, so I have to dig up the email now if I want to see the remaining clues.
No.
Look, this is a work in progress, chat.
Oh boy.
I'll send a message to Paleo and tell him.
Yeah.
Reworking the script.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right,
they-
one down.
Look, you get the clues live. It's very different because normally we don't have any of this.
There's a separate show.
Oh, there we
clue
go.
that is- there we go.
We do have that.
Yay,
Oh,
here they
okay, nice.
Is known to have siblings. Is dead. Likes traditionally feminine things and is terrifying when angry.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Love it.
The only reason I did Vin is because it's from Vindication and it is small. So it's like, great, that's good enough for me for guess one.
Yeah. Well, and Vin's, like a lot of characters, their size doesn't come up a lot.
But it really
whereas,
does with
like,
Vin, yeah.
For Vin, yeah, her size comes up. And
Yeah, I was definitely thinking like a Spren being a small character.
Ooh.
Well, that's true.
Like,
That is
is
true.
it an
Friend.
object? Is it Nightblood? Because
The
anyway,
stick.
yeah. Oh yeah.
the stick is small.
All
right.
right.
Awesome.
There we go.
Well, we're saving time.
Okay.
That's an interesting fall off of animation.
This next one was sent in by Evan Raker.
Awesome.
Hi Evan.
Clue 1. This character is hiding when we first learn about them. And I will say for this one, I normally don't accept descriptions, but there is a very specific description that I will accept.
I guessed.
I guessed.
I
too.
also,
yeah.
I also
Yes,
guessed.
okay. The first one is Feather.
Hey, the survival shard.
It is not the survival shard. Eric?
Vin.
It is not Vin.
Wait. Did I cut out what happened?
No.
Okay.
Well,
I was
everything's fine,
not
honestly.
correct.
You were
Okay.
not correct. Yeah.
You were not correct. Ian?
Sabruki
It is not
from
Sabruki.
Shadows for Silence.
Oh, right.
I know. It is not.
Thank you for clarifying. I still don't know who that is, but thank you.
She is the adopted daughter, right?
Interesting.
Mm,
I gotta think about more people who are
Shannon's
hiding
just like,
or having
"What?"
around now. Okay.
This is not my game. This is like one of the. This is like a very specific first clue. This is
Matt?
yeah.
Yeah.
I know this isn't it, but I'm mind blanking, so I'm just going to say Mraze.
It is not Maraise.
them. Is it the sibling? Oh, is it the sibling?
It is not the sibling.
I think if you're the last one, you don't need to hit. The guessing's not mandatory. It's just if we all have guesses, then we can actually declare who's in order.
Oh
This
gosh.
character is married.
What? Oh, I have no idea.
Oh,
I'm just gonna hope this is from one of the works that I don't know that well, so that I don't feel bad about having no idea.
Is it Ham's wife?
You did not buzz in, Ian.
This is new.
This
It
is
is
new.
new.
The buttons
It is
are
new.
new.
You know her name?
I want to say it starts with an M.
It is Mardra.
Oh yeah, nice.
Hey!
Oh, nice. There we
Wow.
Ian
go.
is really good at this.
Ian,
Yeah.
I went exactly the same place as you.
I was wondering if I figured Ian or Matt would get this. I was wondering who would get it.
That's
first.
good.
Very
That's
good.
good.
And I also didn't know the name, but knew it started with an M. So, like,
I was thinking like Mari. Like no, that
Yeah.
that doesn't sound right.
And the other clues are this character has 2 children. This character survived the Catacender, and this character is Ska.
Very nice.
So I like how last time we did like a half hour of who's the Kazmir character, and this is like, no, we got this. Clue 1, clue
5
2, let's
minutes.
go.
we
Love
have more? Did we only get 2?
Well, see, we have to preload them. That's the problem with this system. So we
I know,
probably
that's what I was
can't.
thinking.
At
Did
least,
could we
I mean,
load
if
more
Grace
than-
wants to get another email, but we just can't show it on screen because Grace would have to load the clues into the app. So we'd have to do it
No.
old style. Is
Old
that
school
okay with you,
style.
chat? Because we did kind of get through it quick. Do you want to do another? But we cannot have it on screen.
We could start a new
Yeah.
game, and we could redo it all.
Do you want to?
Chat wants to win. I think they lost. So
Oh.
they say.
Well, they don't seem to
want to
care
win.
if we don't have it on screen, Grace. So let's just do it this way. I'll
Sure.
edit it in for the VOD. So the VOD will never know the difference. But
This is how it usually goes with Who's That Card. Like, you just gotta remember what the clues
yeah,
are.
you just gotta remember the
Yeah.
clues.
Welcome to our world.
Well,
I
Matt.
type them into
Someone
Notepad,
can
guys.
also- someone on the chat can type it can type it in
It's true.
too.
Oh, right. And now I need to continue to not
Don't look at chat. Don't pull it
Yeah,
up.
well, because I thought we were done, so it's like I
I know,
looked at
right?
chat, right?
The game has ended.
Yeah, we don't need that
Okay.
tab open anyway.
All right.
Yeah, but we did get that through quick. So I don't know about everyone else. I have had an absolute blast on this stream.
Oh yeah.
I enjoyed this
Yeah.
way more than I expected, and I've expected to enjoy it.
It was really fun.
But like we had very little breaks except for us dealing with tech things, but whatever. But like the
Oh,
conversation's all super good.
I need to go do so many things after this.
So let's
Yeah.
just do one more maybe then.
Right.
Okay?
Yes.
Just like in a biological sense,
Oh,
you know.
I mean, right.
Makes sense. I also
I have a
have
D&D game in
homework.
like an hour.
Okay.
I need
Hey.
to-
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
No, so let's just do one more.
This last
We're
one
already
was-
over an hour, so.
You started us late.
This last one was sent in by Sashim Nell Smith on the forums.
Coop.
Okay, clue 1. This character is very observant.
Vin.
Not Finn.
So I wonder if that is that a Hollow Knight reference? Nailsmith? Gotta be.
So
I'm gonna-
usually what we do is we just yell it out. That's
Yeah.
what
That's
we
true.
do.
We don't have a way to buzz it anymore.
Like
Yeah.
I did earlier.
Yeah, right.
Um,
Yeah.
Our
I
clue.
was, but it is not
The-
Urklo.
Okay.
I'm
I was
gonna
up.
guess this before Feather does. I'm gonna guess Renarin.
It is not Renarin.
Whoa, that would have been a plot twist if
that would've
Alex
been a
didn't get
twist.
that. That would have been
I'm gonna
great.
go spook.
It is not Spook.
Is it Shalon?
It is not Shalon.
Just
I
had to
think these
get
are all
that out of the
good.
way.
Yeah, I think
Had to get
all
it out.
good.
2. This character is an orphan.
Oh,
Is
that
what?
doesn't round.
Oh,
Is it Lift?
It is not Lift.
Ooh, that's good though.
Lift was maybe going to be my first guess, and then it fit really well.
No, wait, that doesn't work. That's stupid. Wait, no,
What was
I'm
the
gonna.
first clue again.
They are
Very observant.
very observant.
Very observant.
Okay.
We have a very observant orphan.
So like all of our orphans, basically.
So. No, that's not right.
Oh, I have another good guess, but I
you have to wait for the
We have
next
an
name
entire
and I-
orphanage in Edge Dancer.
Okay.
That's not
Wait, I
fair.
forgot who guessed already.
I don't
many
think
people.
I did for the second one.
No, I don't think you did.
Okay, I'm
don't
gonna guess Sabruki again.
It is Sabruki. This was literally just the next on the list. I didn't do this on purpose, but
Wow.
amazing.
Wow.
This is what
Was
it's
that
like
Sabruki-
to play with
who's Sabruki?
Ian.
This is what it's like to play with Ian.
all right.
I was
Who is
thinking about
Sabruki
the
again?
It was Sabruki.
someone from Shadows for Self.
Shadows
Yeah,
of Silence
so-
in the Forest of Hell, not
So it's
Shadows
just
of Self.
Yes.
Shadows for Self.
Right.
Wow,
Yeah.
great,
Okay.
good,
Great
good job.
character. Great character.
Yeah, I was
Clue
thinking of
3.
the kid in the house in Kolinar that Shalon like kept giving food to.
Yeah.
Clue 3. This character attempts murder.
Mhm.
Clue 4. This character was found covered in blood. Clue 5. This character is on Threnody.
Very nice, good.
Someone-
Man,
someone
we're really quick with this. What took you guys so long the first time?
Because they were hard and we didn't have Ian to fix this.
Someone
Cut through.
should send in one where it's like this character is an orphan and it's just Dalinar or something. Technically an orphan, but he's like 50.
Just something that's not relevant.
Yeah, someone said in chat, usually adults aren't referred to as orphans. Look, would you say Seto Kaiba is still an orphan? Absolutely. Although his age is actually not quite clear. Just saying.
I can't. That's from Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, it is. It is. That's what I went to, okay?
It's like if you're asking who Seto Kaiba is, I know the answer. It was on YTV when I was a kid.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm ashamed of that guy.
So, let's... So,
we should do more like big event live streams like this.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
was super fun. We hope you guys enjoyed this. I think we're gonna call it here. Will there be more live streams? Yes, there will be more live streams. I don't know when, but I think literally all of us had tons of fun, and now we have the overlays and the technology. So the answer is yes. Are you gonna do more Q&As, like right now?
In the future?
In the future, absolutely. That's probably going to be one of our main things that we'll do, is just do like Q&A live streams, a little less formal than this, and just do, we will absolutely do that, 100%. That's probably the main thing we're gonna. Kitty! Dalish is so cute.
She didn't come to visit, so I had to go get her.
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe we could do like a stream or something for the Rhythm of War release, since
I was thinking about that.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that, where what we could do is
have like our own midnight shard party.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh,
well,
wow.
especially since like the in-person release, like we don't know what's going to happen with that yet.
Oh,
right?
That's a good idea. Well, we'll think of something. Like, I imagine, because now that we have so many Shardcasters, obviously, because we needed 2 different groups of people. 2, right? 2. But I imagine all of us will have opinions on Rhythm of War, and so I think we might need to do a stream where we talk about it. We will also do our regular Rhythm of War reactions, but I was thinking that we probably want to maybe do a little more informal one that's more chatty. Where do you submit WTCC? You go to WTCC@17shard.com. So I'll type that in chat. Oh, Argent beat me to it. Okay.
Yeah.
So obviously, we are not posting a 5-hour VOD on YouTube, and we will split this over 2 things. So there'll be some space probably with this. Oh, so someone commented on Splintercast Reads.
I miss it too.
That's not why they don't happen anymore.
Yeah. That is not it. Although it is part of the decision making.
Any plans to discuss review Called Adventure Stormlight Archives Edition when it comes out? Yes. The art. Oh, that, by the way, that pre-ordered. Beautiful art book. You can still pre-order the deluxe edition. I am hoping that there will be something on Tabletop Simulator, and I would absolutely love to play a game. That sounds fun.
That sounds very fun.
That sounds super fun.
I want it.
Is House War on Tabletop Simulator?
I don't know if I don't think on an official capacity. I have no idea, but I guess we should ask.
It'd be cool if they made like because it'd be fun to play House War.
These are ideas. Well, look, there's still some surprises, Argent. So that's
also we could play Cards Against Humanity.
That would be pretty easy. Yeah, we should probably do that. Yeah. I would like it a little bit better than something that's a little prettier than the Cards Against Humanity thing that we usually do. Like, I don't know. Yeah. So that would be fun for more production value. But I would love to do some games. We'll see, of course, because we are busy humans. But we had lots of fun, and we hope you did as well. Like, almost always over 100 viewers live, which is incredible for a first live stream, I think. Like, that's really good. So when will you be breaking down the next Rhythm of War sample chapter? Good question. I don't have an answer to that. It's difficult because some of us are betas, and as I said before, I don't like bringing it up, but in case you're wondering why Stormlight content will not exist for a while, that's why. But ideally, we'll see. So that to be TBA. We'll think about something. Where's Cards Against Humanity, the Kazmir version available? Message Feather. She has a thing.
Yeah. It's free to play on a website called Cardcast. There's lots of like Cards Against Humanity simulators that let you make your own decks. I made a couple. They also let you print cards if you want to pay money, and I got my Word of Brandon card signed. So it's not actually Cards Against Humanity, it's called Cardcast. But it's Cards Against Humanity. So yeah, I can give you a link to decks. There's a couple other people who have made decks, so you can go through and see which ones have like cards that you like and which ones are fun.
Blessed is saying Cardcast got shut down.
What? Oh no. Well, that could be a deal breaker. I guess I have the physical cards. I don't know if I have the like a digital version of those cards anymore then.
Oh. Uh-oh.
That would be really sad. Maybe they're somewhere on my hard drive. Maybe I typed them all up.
We'll think about that. So there will be more live streams. I guarantee it. 100%. Don't know when, but we had tons of fun and we hope you did too. Follow us on 70shard.com for all your news, discussion, theories, and fun you could ever hope for. You can join us on Discord. You can chat with us whenever. If you like our stuff, you can support us on Patreon. We're on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, now Twitch, as you know. If you're watching live, if you're watching on YouTube, we'll have a Twitch channel and stuff. So, awesome. Oh, the Call to Adventure Deluxe Edition definitely sold out. They will be doing more prints of them if you haven't gotten them. So, it's not like a limited time thing. All right. Well, we will see you all later.
Bye.
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 Caw.